Okay, this will be an example of using confidence intervals on the difference of means. So here's our situation. How many Facebook friends do you have? And I want to know if there's a difference between the genders. So I've gathered this information from statistics students. I have 35 males and 71 females, and we want to actually make this determination using confidence intervals. So when you're dealing with the difference of means, it's the same type of confidence interval. This is actually a typo here. This should be difference. This time, we're actually going to take the difference of the means in order to get, in order to make our estimate. The critical value comes the same, and the degrees of freedom comes with a slightly more complicated formula. So let's start building this guy in Excel. So here's our situation. I want to do females minus, well, let's do males minus females. So my difference in means is males minus females. And so the difference right now is about 94 Facebook friends. Well, let's see what the confidence interval says. My standard error, I can use the same old formula that we've used in the past. So square root of, I'm just using this formula right here. So square root of standard deviation squared over sample size for the males plus standard deviation squared over sample size for the females. As always with the formulas, put me on pause if you need to, equals. Okay, my degrees of freedom for the difference of mean is first sample minus 1 plus second sample minus 1. So let's write that in. So this is parentheses, first sample minus 1 plus parentheses, second sample minus 1. And my parentheses, oops, let's get my parentheses in the right spot. So second sample minus 1. There we go. So there's my degrees of freedom. And my difference is, I've already calculated, so I can just do males minus females. So males minus females. So what I'm going to do here is build my confidence interval based on the difference of means. So this right now is the difference between the sample means. And I'm going to use the same t distributions I've used before. So 90% confidence, t inverse of 0.95, because that's 0.9 plus 0.05. I've got 5% in the left-hand tail, comma, my degrees of freedom. So there's my t-score. My margin of error is calculated in the same way. T-score times standard error, enter. And now the confidence interval is in the same way. So I'm going to take my difference of means minus my margin of error, and my difference of means plus my margin of error, enter. Now this is fascinating to me. So we've got this sample, and in the sample, the difference was the females have about 95 more friends than the males. But with my confidence interval crosses 0. That tells me it's entirely plausible that the males and the females have the same number of friends, or maybe even it's plausible that the males have more friends. All of these things are possible since we cross 0. Why is that so important? Put it on pause and think about it for a second. And now that you're off pause, if this was 0 itself, then the difference between males and females would be 0, which means males equals females. So let's do one more. So I'm going to do a t inverse. I'm going to get this t-score. So 95%, so that's 0.95 plus the left-hand tail with my degrees of freedom. Now my margin of error is again the t-score times my, where is it here, my standard error, there it is. So again, notice that the margin of error went up with a larger confidence level. My lower bound is my difference of means minus my margin of error. And my upper bound is the difference of means plus my margin of error. And again, we get a wider confidence interval, meaning that we have more confidence, but again, this guy crosses 0, which tells me it's entirely possible that the true difference between males and females on the number of Facebook friends is 0. It's possible. It's also possible that it's as much as 250 some, or even more, because remember, we don't know that we actually captured the correct mean. I hope this has helped. I'm going to leave the 99 to you.